welcome to News Now for April 28, 2015. We are your #1 source for news, sports, entertainment, and a whole lot more. I'm Nadia Cruz.
And I'm Michelle Brill. Right now it's 61 degrees outside. We'll have a complete weather update later in the broadcast. But first, Nadia has today's top story. Nadia?
Thank you, Michelle. Baltimore was in a state of emergency yesterday after the city fell victim to rioters and looters. Over 24 arrests, 15 police officers injured, cars and businesses and apartments torched, the worst day of violence reserved for the day Freddie Gray was buried. Chris Cuomo reports.
On a day that expected peace and mourning, police stood down, and that was a mistake. The funeral of Freddie Gray marked the worst day of rioting in Baltimore since the 60s.
This is one of our darkest days as a city, and I know that we're much better than this.
National Guard troops and waves of cops fanning out after the governor declares a state of emergency. Gray's family condemning the violence as well, but looters and rioters take advantage of lax policing to set fire to and steal from their own community, injuring police, journalists, and each other.
I think the violence is wrong, and Freddie Gray wasn't no person for violence, or Freddie Gray wasn't that type of person to break in those stores and all that. I don't like it at all.
The mayor and governor facing sharp criticism for standing down on such an emotionally charged day and then not seeming to have a plan, leading to chaos.
We've been standing by in preparation, just in case the violence escalated, which it did. When the mayor called, we activated. We were fully prepared.
Darkness adding to the danger, brazen standoffs between masked men on both sides, hurling anything they could, even crude explosives, at cops, police cruisers, and neighborhood cars on fire. Pepper bullets in constant supply from a largely controlled wall of resistance. Then, what seems to be a suicide mission. A car racing past us right into the police line, stopping feet away, only to return to the fray. A night no one was safe. Local stores lit up, spreading to an adjoining apartment, a mother and her baby escaping just in time. Officials now say the riots may not have been a surprise. Word of a purge, referring to the sci-fi film where all crimes are absolved for 12 hours. A deranged rallying cry heeded apparently by a large number of juveniles, contributing to the violence now gripping the city. The police commissioner calling on parents to take charge of their kids, like this woman, angered at a young man's participation in the unrest.
You won't be out here doing this dumb.
Members of the community did stand strong. This man, a Vietnam vet, boldly confronts a group of youngsters taunting police.
Go!
Determined to do what authorities could not, take control of this community.
They do not respect this young man's death, you know. Now, mama and daddy didn't lost a child. That could be them.
As of this morning, the state of emergency is still in effect.
Doctors and nurses in Nepal are struggling to attend to the thousands of people who need medical attention. And the situation is chaotic. There are not enough ventilators, monitors, or beds. Some surgeries are even being performed in the lobby. Or for one girl who got her treatment for a serious brain injury from our own doctor, Sanjay Gupta. Here's his report.
Thousands were killed during the initial quake, and without urgent medical care, many thousands more will likely die.
We've made our way into one of the busiest hospitals here in Kathmandu. This is Bir Hospital, and this is actually a lobby area. This is normally a lobby area, but you get an idea of just how chaotic the scene is over here. This area over here, they've simply set up just for people with brain injuries, spinal cord injuries. It's very challenging. They don't have enough ventilators. They don't have enough monitors. As you can see over here, they actually are doing some procedures right at the bedside because there's not enough operating room capabilities.
Operations performed right in the hospital lobby. This facility so overwhelmed, dozens of patients are actually forced to wait outside until medical personnel can give them care.
We're nearly 2 days now after the earthquake, and you can still get an idea of just how busy things are. We're at the busiest hospital in this particular area. Emergency vehicles keep coming in. Patients either being rescued, finally found, finally making their way through the traffic and the chaos to get to the hospital. And these patients are the lucky ones. I mean, you get so many more patients still out there waiting to be found.
One of those lucky ones is 8-year-old Selena. Her journey here from the countryside has taken more than a day. Her grandfather explains to doctors that the family house simply collapsed on her. She spent hours in the rubble before being rescued. Selena's dazed, clearly in pain from injuries to her head, but examining her CAT scan reveals just how dire her situation is. She has a fractured skull, a blood clot, and her brain is swelling. Without emergent surgery, she'll have permanent damage, or like so many other earthquake victims, she'll die. As a practicing neurosurgeon, I'm asked to assist in the operation. It's called a craniotomy. The conditions and equipment available to us are more like what you'd find in a war zone, rather than an operating room. But the operation is a success, and Selena will live. Nepal's president, Ram Baran Yadav, is also a doctor. He says his country is facing a medical calamity never seen before, and he asks for any assistance from the international community. There's no doubt Nepal needs all the help it can possibly get. How soon this ends is unclear. As they bring in more patients from more remote areas, it's likely the demand for these beds is just going to go up. At times they lose power, and there's still the question of these aftershocks and these tremors. Every time one happens, do you evacuate the patients? Do you leave them here in the hospital? What do you do? It's a question they're trying to answer almost every single day. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, Kathmandu, Nepal.
Just ahead, we'll take a look at some local news stories.
Don't go away.
With a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. The first pitch is fouled between the back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to News Now, your #1 source for news, sports, weather, and more. I'm Nadia Cruz.
And I'm Michelle Brill. Time now to look at the local news. Nadia?
Thank you. Paterson police are investigating the fatal stabbing of a teenage boy. The attack apparently happened over the weekend. Officials found the victim's body along the train tracks on the east side of town. It's Paterson's 3rd homicide this month.
A 91-year-old Wayne woman was run over when her 93-year-old husband reversed a car out of the driveway. She was standing near the driveway when she was hit. The woman was conscious after the accident but suffered critical injuries. Police are investigating.
Also in Paterson, they are going forward with a plan to require on-duty police officers to wear body cameras. Officials say they want to have a video record of police interactions with the public. Newark is reportedly implementing a similar program.
The police were not a match for this wild animal. Apparently, a bear managed to get away from the police and animal control by swimming to an island in the Passaic River. The chase started a while earlier when the bear was spotted at the local park in Paterson. And just FYE, the animal is still on the loose.
A simple walk to class went horribly wrong when a group of campus geese attacked. It happened yesterday morning. A William Paterson student reportedly was injured, but not seriously. It is not clear why the geese went on the rampage. Coming up, we'll hear from the editor of the Beacon newspaper.
Don't touch that remote.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Hey there, there, and welcome back to News Now. I'm Eric Dillon, and across the desk from me is one Ryan Walsh, editor-in-chief of the Beacon here on campus and friend of the show. Welcome, Ryan.
Hi, Eric. How are you doing today?
So I have a very interesting day ahead of me, and I know that you do too. So today is a very important day for the Beacon and for you. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's the very last issue of the semester, and it's the last one that I'm going to be doing here at William Paterson.
Wow. So how long have you done it now?
I've been in charge of the Beacon for about 2 years, and this will be my 23rd issue in charge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to be a weird swell of emotions knowing that it's sort of coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, well, it's mainly relief. You know, I don't
yeah.
have to put in the hard work anymore, but I'm definitely going to miss it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know if you know this. I mean, I don't want to make it about me, but this is actually my last interview at WPTV, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I have a similar sense of emotions.
Oh, well, congratulations.
I kind of wanted to propose something to you.
Okay.
So I have a weird swell of emotions going on. You do too.
Right.
I was wondering if maybe, what if we just sort of perpetuated these responsibilities? I don't want to have to deal with the conclusion of it. I don't know if you want to. So what if maybe I did the Beacon tonight and you just did this interview?
That'd be perfect. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Hey.
So how are you doing, Eric?
I'm doing really well. I got a big night tonight ahead of me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard this is the last issue of the Beacon that you're going to be in charge of.
Yep, yeah. We're trying to do, part of me wants to stick to the format that we've had for 23 consecutive, issues is what they're called, issues. It's insider newspaper talk.
I wouldn't understand.
And so, but at the same time, I want it to be a special episode issue. So, there are going to be some surprises.
Cool. I was going to say, did you have anything interesting planned? Any maybe surprises for the crew?
Well, actually, I've decided to actually fire. I'm going to fire the whole crew.
You're going to fire everybody.
We're doing a cleaning house. What better time? It's spring. People are cleaning up their apartments, cleaning up their homes. Why not just do a big wash and then just sort of let the pieces come together? There's a theory that if you break apart a watch and put it in a bag, through the theory of evolution, at a point it'll come back together. I'm just going to sort of shatter the watch that is the Beacon, put it in a paper bag over the summer, make sure it doesn't get too hot, and then hope that in the fall people can tell time.
Very cool. It's like blowing up the team to sort of rebuild.
Exactly.
At that point. Nice. So let's see. What are you going to put any interesting sort of touches into this final issue?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to use all of my fingers, first of all. Second of all, I think one of the big things is we've been doing this series of interviews with convicted arsonists.
Okay.
And so this issue is going to be big for me because we're actually, I don't want to say committing arson. I'm saying that we're just going to, there's going to be some interesting touches in this issue of the Beacon for sure.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it'll be good to see, the blaze.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part, I'd say, about just your last 2 years in charge?
Of the Beacon.
Yeah.
This has been really fun. This is the first time in about 2 years that I felt like I'm really in control of my role. I felt like the responsibilities at times would slip through the cracks, but right now I really, for the first time, feel like I am in charge of the Beacon.
Cool. Have you had any memorable interviews?
This one has been. I almost already know that this one's going to be memorable.
Yeah,
for me.
I think this one is pretty memorable.
Yeah. Real memorable.
Yeah, probably one of the most memorable interviews in the history of the Beacon. Maybe in the entire history of all of us here at WPTV.
Yeah, I definitely respect what you guys do.
Cool. So I probably have maybe one last question for you.
Yeah.
And that would be of the Beacon, of everything that you've ever done there. What would you say is your least favorite part?
We had this one guy, redhead, sports writer that, I don't know, never really came to fruition for us.
No?
Yeah, no.
I heard he was a great guy. I heard he was just one of the coolest people.
Yeah, they've said that about a lot of people in history. It's not necessarily the truth. Otherwise, that was pretty disappointing. But then I came along, so it's,
Very cool. So I think that about does it for us today. Unfortunately, Eric, that's all the time we have. But don't go anywhere. We've got everything you need to know in the world of entertainment and sport coming up next. You're watching News Now.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to News Now. I'm Angelique Nieves. And I'm Clarissa Arroyo. Time now for the entertainment news. Angelique?
Actor Jared Leto has taken to the internet to show off his latest character, the Joker. He took to Twitter to show his interpretation of the character. Leto is the third star to play the Joker, following Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. He is set to play the Joker in DC Comics' upcoming movie, Suicide Squad, set for release in August 2016.
The brave Olympian Bruce Jenner opened up to Diane Sawyer Friday night on ABC News Special. During his groundbreaking interview, Jenner confirmed that he is in the process of transitioning into a woman. He began the process in the 1980s after a lifetime of feeling uncomfortable in his skin. This was the last time he would be known as Bruce Jenner. He didn't reveal his new name yet.
Could Raven-Symoné permanently be a member of The View? Symoné has co-hosted a few times, and rumors have surfaced that ABC is trying to bring her on as a regular. An ABC rep spilled that she was a wonderful addition. Making her a regular has not been planned.
An undead union is sure to make vampire lovers very happy. Meanwhile, fans of another primetime drama are hoping to bringing a character back from the dead. Melissa Ranley has more in today's Hollywood Minute.
It's a vampire match fans are hoping will last an eternity. Ian Somerhalder and Nikki Reed tied the knot over the weekend. Both celebs are well known for roles as beautiful bloodsuckers in the Vampire Diaries and the Twilight movies, respectively. Grey's Anatomy fans wondering how to save a life are hoping a petition will do the trick.
It's okay.
In its most recent episode, the show's male lead, Dr. Derek McDreamy Shepherd, died. Upset fans have now started a Change.org petition to bring the character back. The cause already has more than 20,000 supporters.
It's called the Ultron program.
Avengers: Age of Ultron hasn't even hit screens in the U.S., but it has already pulled in an estimated $201 million in box office sales. The blockbuster sequel opened overseas on Wednesday. The film is expected to make another $200 million when it opens in the U.S. this Friday.
Nothing but our wit and our will to save the world.
For Hollywood Minute, I'm Melissa Rainey.
Now let's take a look at the weather. Ian Martini joins us with everything you need to know about what's going on outside. Ian, tell me something good. Please, nice weather.
I'll tell you a lot of things that are good. If you've walked outside this morning, have you noticed? What have you noticed? Tell me what you've noticed.
It's actually starting to look like spring is in full effect right now, finally.
It is starting to look like spring is in full effect. You are indeed. Let me take a look outside here.
So exciting.
You should be excited. You can see that is beautiful, beautiful Hobart Hall. What is that, Hamburg Turnpike out there? No, it's not. I lied. That is indeed Pompton Road. So anyway. Today we are looking at a beautiful windy day. There's an increased chance of fire weather today, so if you're smoking, don't toss your ashes out there. We're gonna have sunny skies for most of the day. Could see a few clouds here and there. High reaching up to 67 degrees today. I know. Tonight we'll be dipping down to low into the 40s. Tomorrow we have an even better day on tap. The high 73 with mostly sunny skies. The low 46. Not too shabby as far as the weather is concerned. Thursday, we're looking at another pleasant day, high of 63 with clouds on the increase. And then on Friday, our coolest day of the week. I know, you should be so sad that it's that cold. It's only 58 on Friday. Crazy, right? There's a very slight chance of rain on that day. And on Saturday, we're looking at cloudy skies and a high of 67. Low dipping down to 46. Looks like these spring temperatures are finally sticking around. I'm Ian Martini for the last time here on WPTV. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports. You're watching news now on WPTV 6.1 HD.
Danse, balance la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence.
You didn't give up on sex, don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And
And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to News Now, your number one source for news, entertainment, weather, and sports. I'm Jared Coleman.
And I'm John Presapio. We have a great lineup for you today. But first, Jared's going to take us into last night's NBA action between the Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets.
All right. Last night's game was no disappointment between the Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets down 2-1. How would the Nets respond? Let's take you right to the action. To the fourth quarter we go. Darren Williams trying to create space. Can't find any space with the clock winding down. Darren Williams throws up the prayer. The three is good. Nets up. 101-102. 21 seconds left. Jeff Teague looking for the big man, Paul Millsap, who drives right by the Nets defender for the easy two-handed flush. He said, not today, Brooklyn, not today. 13 seconds left. Darren Williams trying to create space. Goes through the baseline for the turnaround. Jump shot would miss. And the Hawks get the rebound. Hawks ball. Nets Hawks tied at 104. Hawks looking for Paul Millsap again, but he just can't make it to the rim in time. And you know what that means, Brooklyn. We're going to overtime. Overtime coming. 126 left in OT. Brook Lopez with the spin-off pass to Bogdanovic for the wide open three. It's good. The Nets up 114-113. Hawks coach can't believe it. Next play, Joe Johnson looking for Thaddeus Young, who gets the foul and one. Oh my goodness, the Nets crowd went wild. And that's all that she wrote, folks. The Nets will go on to win the game 120-115. Darren Williams was the high point man with 35 points and 7 assists. With the win, the Nets tie the series at 2 apiece. The series continues tomorrow night in Atlanta.
Fresh off of taking 2 out of 3 games in the Subway Series against the Mets this past weekend, the Yankees hosted their division rival, the Tampa Bay Rays, last night. Now, a cold April night game might usually keep fans away from attending, but Alex Rodriguez sits 1 home run shy of tying Willie Mays' all-time home run record of 660. Would the Yankees be able to keep this momentum going, and would A-Rod make history? Let's take you right to the action. Adam Warren on the hill for the Yanks, and boy, did he have an amazing game. He would end up going 5 2/3 innings, racking up the Ks. He finished with 6 strikeouts on the night. Now, bottom of the 4th inning, here's A-Rod. He would not have a great game. He'd go 0 for 3. History would not be made last night. He did have a walk, though. Brett Gardner with the bases loaded, working a walk that'll plate home the first run of the game. Yankees take a 1-0 lead. But very next inning, as Drupal Cabrera with the infield in grounds it to Stephen Drew, who's unable to get David DeJesus, who comes home to score. Brian McCann launches one into the second deck, his 2nd home run of the year. Yankees take a 2-1 lead there. Now, Stephen Drew with some insurance, lining it to right field. That's going to bring home a run. Yankees take a 3-1 lead. They'll go on, though, to win the game 4-1, and the Yankees are in sole possession of first place in the American League East.
After losing 2 out of 3 to the Yankees in the Subway Series this past weekend, the Mets headed on the road to face the Miami Marlins. How would the Mets bounce back against the 3rd-place Marlins? Let's take you right to the action. Top of the 6th, no outs. Juan Lagares up at the plate. Bam, goes for the bunt, but Jacob Altman and doubles up Granderson for the easy 1-2 play. Still 0-0, tied it in the 8th inning. Baseline to left. Coming home. Ooh, 1-0 Miami. Here we go. Daniel Murphy at the dish will get his revenge. That's going back. Gone. The Mets would be up 3-1 And that's all he needed. That's all the Mets needed for the run support. The Mets would go on to win the series 3-1 and still remain one of the hottest teams in baseball.
In California, a 14-year-old boy who loves to play baseball underwent reconstructive surgery after he was hit in the face with a fastball over the weekend. We want to warn you, the images are graphic. Jerry Olin reports.
This is 14-year-old Alex Vale shortly after he was hit directly in the face with a 75-mile-per-hour fastball at a game in Fairfield on Saturday. Alex is part of the Paradise Nuggets, a travel baseball team. His parents gave us video of the actual pitch that hit their son.
At first we thought, it's just going to be minor, but his whole face was covered with blood, and so they immediately put ice on it and called 911.
Alex was immediately taken to UC Davis, where on Monday afternoon he was scheduled to have reconstructive surgery on his left eye, which prior to the operation he was seeing double.
It was a pretty deep cut, and it caused an orbital blowout.
The hope is that Alex's vision returns to normal, but that won't be known for certain until after the operation.
Very positive. They've commented repeatedly here at the hospital how positive he is, and even here he's very positive and upbeat.
The fight of the century is happening Saturday in Las Vegas, but unless you have a ticket to the event at the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino, police would rather you stay at home and watch the fight on pay-per-view. Scott Daniels reports on security plans for the Las Vegas Strip ahead of Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
If you don't have a ticket to the fight, stay off the Strip. That's the message Metro has for Las Vegas residents leading up to the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Even though you're going to say that and we're going to report that, a ton of people are still going to come out to the MGM.
There's a ton of people there, and we have plans set in place accordingly in order to address that.
More officers will be on duty, streets will be closed, and although there are no threats Metro is aware of, prisoner buses will be on standby.
Our goal is not to make a lot of arrests. Our goal is to allow people to enjoy themselves and enjoy the event.
Inside the arena, the goal is to have no incidents similar to the stampedes that injured guests after boxing events in 1997 and last year.
The boxing ring is already set up in the middle of MGM's Grand Garden Arena, but Metro police officers are expecting even more action to happen after the fight. What have you guys learned from events like those?
We've learned how to increase additional officers at the scene, how to continue to work with our partners from the private security forces, MGM, bringing everybody to the table all as one concerted effort.
Tim Jeffrey, the vice president of MGM Grand Security, says people without tickets could be told to leave.
We have teams specifically on duty that night throughout the day whose job it is to discourage loitering and move loitering guests to areas where they can either allowed to be or to where they need to be.
Metro compared planning for this event to NASCAR and New Year's Eve on the Strip. Those take a year's worth of planning. This event was announced just 70 days from fight night.
Well, that's it for this week's show. We thank you for your viewership for the past semester. It has been an experience to say the least. Unfortunately, this is Jared's last show, and I can certainly say we're going to be missing you and the rest of the seniors here very much, and we hope everyone goes on for a very successful career. For everyone here at News Now, I'm John Presapio.
And I'm Jared Coleman. Thanks for joining us, and have a great summer, everybody.